Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are proceeding to the sixth Sutra of Kaivalya Path, which says Tatra Dhyanajam Anashayam. The Nirmanakaya Nirmana Chitta, which is derived out of Samadhi process, will not be getting implicated by influx of karmas, because that was the problem we considered, that if with one embodiment we get ourselves bound for several lives. Now if there are multiple embodiments, the problem will escalate for implicating us for several lives, several incarnations. So that objection is ruled out by mentioning that such chitta of a yogi, which is manifesting in multitudinal forms, is anashayam, and therefore it won't implicate a yogi for bound condition as feared in the objection. Anashayam, that is, ashayam means vasana. So yogi's chitta is nirvasana chitta. It is the vasanas which implicate us in our karmas. While yogi's chitta is vasana vidirmukta, and therefore it is not implicated. So although yogi will become multitudinal, which is not the case of Saubhari, who became 50 and implicated himself with several karmas that he indulged with 50 princes. So the Nirmanakaya Nirmana Chitta of a yogi doesn't implicate, while it indeed implicates if the Siddhi is attained through mantra, by janma, by mantra, by tapa, by aushadhi and the other means. So this sutra we will be considering some aspects of karma siddhanta, which we did in the second chapter while dealing with the karma siddhanta of sadhana pada. So we know that ashayit chitta, karmashaya, ashaya, karma vasana. So when the chitta is in that state, that the theory of karma, the laws of karma will become applicable, then it implicates. So we were told klesha moola karmashayaha in the second chapter. Now here it is anashaya chitta. So with the chitta which is ashayita, that is, which is subject to application of karma siddhanta. Then you have drushta janma vedaniya karmashay, adrushta janma vedaniya karmashay, ya karma vipaka. The karma vipakas are threefold: jati, ayur, bhoga, dharma, papa, punya. So these will be kept operative, now multiplicated by several embodiments. But yogis chitta is like insulated chitta. It has insulation to kleshas, insulation to phalas, insulation to the fruitions, insulation to vasanas. So because it is insulated, the karma siddhanta will not be applicable. So the karma bandha will not be effected, although the yogi is engaged in karmas, because he is doing karmas in a nirvasana chitta, nirvasanita chitta, nirvasana chitta. So there is no karma bandha, and therefore yogi doesn't have to fear about, even if he is having multiple embodiments, doesn't have to fear about na karma bandha. So that's the special condition of the siddhi that we are discussing. If it is born out of samadhi, if it is born out of dhyanaja prakriya, then it is like insulated chitta, insulated condition. And that is the anashaya chitta. So any vices, virtues committed will not be afflicting at all. Because the embodiment will be engaged in karmas, activities. Activities will be either punya karmas or papa karmas. So if the punya karmas are there, there will be punya phala. If there is papa karma, there will be papa phala. While it is now insulated, such things will not happen. And therefore, Patanjali says, Tatra dhyanajam anashayam. So Vyasa expands on this sutra in the following ways. So although there is nirmana kaya, nirmana chitta, there won't be implication by karma siddhanta. And that is only the case of dhyanaja or samadhija, dhyanaja, nirmana kaya, nirmana chitta. This won't be a condition for janmaja, mantraja, tapaja and other forms, aushadaja and other forms of same siddhis. Because yogi's chitta doesn't have kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, kleshas, and therefore if they are not there, that is what is called as insulated chitta. So it will be papa sambhinna, punya sambhinna, papa punya sambhinna. And Vyasa clearly says, na ataha punya papa abhisambandha. The papa punya doesn't get related to yogi's chitta. It is because it is anashaya chitta. So Vyasa says, na ataha punya papa abhisambandha kshina kleshatvat yogina iti. Now how it is that it is not implicating the yogi into karmas, karma siddhanta, karma phala? Kshina klesha tvat yoginaha. Because there is kshina klesha. The kleshas are attenuated. Kleshas are destroyed. Kleshas are non-germinating. That is how the yogi's chitta is. and therefore it won't be the karmas won't be subjecting yogi for a bondage. So that's a special condition of yogi's chitta. Now, since the topic of karma bandha has incidentally cropped up, we need to look into that. If the yogi's chitta is anashaya, then there is no karma phala abhisambandha, and therefore there won't be karma bandha. But otherwise, there will be karma bandha. And therefore, we have to look into some aspects of karma siddhanta with reference to what we are considering now. Otherwise, the karma runs on a particular theory and particular theorem, which is thus: Yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute, yat karma kurute tat abhisambhadyate. So, yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute, yat karma kurute tat abhisampadhyate. This is the karma siddhanta which has come in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and we have considered this while we were dealing in the karma siddhanta of sadhanapad. So now, because this is anashaya chitta, there would be no sukha dukkha. Because there is no sukha dukkha, there won't be any dharma dharma. There won't be any papa punya out of the karmas. So what happens usually by our karmas, we collect papa punyas. Vice or virtue is scored. And when to score the because of papa punya, that means there is dharma dharma, and there is so that's the wheel that we have considered: sukha dukkha, dharma dharma, papa punya, sukha dukkha, dharma dharma, papa punya. That is the karma wheel. Now this karma wheel doesn't get behind the yogi. And therefore it won't implicate the yogi for karma phala. While in case of others who have this siddhi of nirmana kaya, nirmana chitta, they will be committing karmas which are subjected to phala. Like it happened to Saubhari, who repented subsequently and beseeched, told us, those on the spiritual path, not to fall prey to such siddhi. So yogis' karmas are of special kind. Now that is what is being mentioned by Patanjali in the 7th Sutra. His class of karma is Ashukla Krishna karma. Because the karmas are Ashukla Krishna, neither white nor black, nor brown, nor grey, the karmas are barren. They do not turn out fruits or fruitions or fructifications. And therefore, Patanjali himself brings a dimension of karma siddhanta in the 7th Sutra. Karma Shukla Krishnam Yoginaha. The yogis' karmas are Ashukla Akrishna, neither white nor black, therefore not even grey. Karma Shukla Krishna, Karma Ashukla Akrishna Yoginam. Trividham Itaresham. While the karmas of others, you and me and those siddhas are trividha. So the sutra comes here. Karma Shukla Krishnam Yoginas Trividham Itaresham. For Itaresham, for others who are not yogis, there will be Trividha kind of karmas. While yogis' karmas are of one kind, which is either neither Shukla nor Krishna. Ashukla Krishna. Neither Shukla nor Krishna. Ashukla, Krishna. No pap, no punya. Neither vice, neither nor virtue. Now they don't have any fruits thereafter. Such karma will not bear out fruits, which is neither virtue nor vice. It is the virtue and vice which reap fruits, and therefore we have to face the fruits of karmas. So yogis' karmas are of one kind called Shukla, Krishna. While Trividha karmas are there for others. Trividham itaresham. What is Trividhyam? What is threefold for others? They are either Shukla karma or Krishna karma or Shukla Krishna karma. For others, there are three kinds of karmas, either punyam or papam or sammishram, combination of vice and virtue, or pure vice, pure virtue. These are the three kinds of karmas of others. So, in the light of what we are considering, Patanjali himself is touching upon a dimension of karma siddhanta by putting up the 7th sutra in the text. Karma ashukla akrishnam yoginam. For yogis, it is yoginaha, it is of one kind. So, karma shukla krishnam yoginaha trividham itaresham. Trividham, threefold for others. So the point is, we have to consider the karmas here are of four kinds. One is neither black and white, or it is either white, or it is black, or it is grey, combination of black and white. So a Karma Siddhanta Sutra is coming up in the flow of his sutras of the 4th chapter. So Shukla Karma, Krishna Karma, Shukla Krishna Karma, Ashukla Krishna Karma. So these four kinds of karmas are to be noted here. Punya Karma, Papa Karma, Mishra Karma. These are three. And Papa Punya Sambhinna Karma, the fourth. Neither virtue nor vice is the fourth. Vice is one kind of karma, virtue is another kind of karma, combination of the two is third kind of karma, and neither of them is fourth kind of karma. So, four kinds of karmas get mentioned in the 7th sutra. Now, if you look into Bhoja's commentary, he clearly says the dhyanotpanna samadhija chitta is nirvasan, is free from vasanas, free from kleshas. So when it is free from kleshas, it is anashaya chitta. And it doesn't require to give more exposition to the fact that if the chitta is anashaya, there is no implication by karma siddhanta. Karma siddhanta doesn't implicate. So Bhoja says that it is not necessary to delineate on how the chitta is anashaya, which is of a yogi. Yogi's mind is that. like that. Because it is vasana rahita, vasana shunya, nirvasana. And therefore the main chitta, the proto chitta of a yogi, in the case of nirmanakaya, nirmana chitta, when it is of such kind, all other chittas which are fabricated will be also of the same kind. And therefore there will be no implication in bandha. Now a question comes, is it possible to have a karma which is nirvasan karma? Because the karma always will have some intent, some passion, some vasana. Is it really true that there are nirvasana karmas? So this is a technical question which crops up. How can we believe that there are such karmas which are neither Krishna nor Shukla, which are neither Shukla nor Krishna? Can we believe in such karmas? What is the basis to believe that there are such karmas? So there are indeed such classes of karma. It is difficult to imagine which karma will be neither white nor black nor brown. It is difficult to imagine such a karma. But the wiser people bring to our notice such karmas. These are karmas which are balakavat. Balaka, an infant, a baby on the laps of mother. Now, the baby on the laps of mother, when it is not fast asleep, it will keep on moving the limbs. It will be keep on moving the limbs. And therefore, it is in some activity. So maybe it will kick the face of mother. It will slap the face of mother. It can do so many things. It can perhaps injure the mother by the leg movements. It can injure the mother by hand movements. But it is natural for the child to keep the limbs moving when it is not fast asleep. The baby will be only steady when it is fast asleep. When the baby is not fast asleep, it will certainly move the limbs. That is swabhavika. It is natural for the baby to keep on moving the limbs incessantly, continuously. And that movement might harm, as much as it can give pleasures to mother, it can harm the mother or it can give pleasures to mother. Sometimes it might even injure the eye of a mother. Suppose the child's toe hits the eyeball. It will injure the mother's eye. But there is no sin on the part of baby. The baby is innocent. Baby is in the nature of moving the limbs when in a wakeful state. So therefore it will be very natural that the limbs are moving. If the limbs are moving, something will come in the ways of the limbs of the child, and therefore it might hit the mother. It might injure the mother. But the child doesn't have intention to harm the mother, as much as it doesn't have the intention to delight the mother. It is natural for the baby to move the limbs. It is neither intending to give pleasure to mother nor harm the mother. So its karmas are neither vidhayaka nor vighataka. A child cannot be blamed for the consequence of its movement of limbs. So it is possible that such activities are taking place. And particularly with the example of a infant, the baby here, we are told that there can be activity without intent, activity without intention. The child doesn't have intention to harm the mother as much as the child doesn't have intention to delight the mother. It will keep on moving the limbs whether the mother is delighted or not, hurt or not. It is natural for the baby to move the limbs when it is in a wakeful state. And therefore it is possible to have such karmas. The baby is in activity, therefore it is in karma, but the karmas don't result into any implication. And therefore this technical question is set aside by giving the answer that it is possible that there are karmas which are done without intents, without intentions, without desires, without passions. So such karmas are possible. So therefore, in one of the spiritual texts, Upanishads, it is mentioned that the yogi is balakavat. The yogi is childlike in one perspective. Like the child, the baby doesn't have intent and intention, desire. It doesn't have anything, it is innocent child. Similarly, yogi can be doing his actions without intentions. The point is, such karmas are possible which are nirbadha karma. Nirbadha karmas, not afflicting karmas, non-afflicting karmas are possible. As much as it is possible for any baby, it is possible for yogi as well. So one of the Upanishads say the yogis conduct themselves like babies, innocent babies. They don't have ill intentions. And therefore whatever they do not harm, or it doesn't get into their karma account. Like the karma of a baby to injure the mother, harm the eyes of the mother or father because of the movement of limbs, it doesn't implicate the child. So therefore there are possibilities of nirvasana karmas. Like the baby has nirvasana karmas, yogis also have nirvasana karmas, and therefore it is possible to have ashukla krishna karma as mentioned by Patanjali in this sutra. So it is neither black nor white nor grey. While all other karmas are either because of intent, because of intentions, they are either virtuous or vicious or combination thereof. And that is why they are either white, virtuous, or black, vicious, or grey or brown because of combinations. Anyway, the point is, anashaya karma is possible. Anashaya chitta is possible since it is there in a baby. The baby doesn't have ill intentions. Anyway, 4 kinds of karmas are being mentioned. Shukla karma, Krishna karma, Shukla Krishna karma, Ashukla Krishna karma. So some karmas are punyatmak, some karmas are papatmak, some karmas are ubhayatmak. Some karmas are vicious, some karmas are virtuous, some karmas are combinations. So that is what the sutra is mentioning. We had seen the types of karmas while we were dealing with the karma siddhanta in the 2nd chapter. So little refresher to your memory here. We saw a classification which said nitya karma, naimittik karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, prayaschitta karma. Just to help you recall what we had considered. We saw the classifications of karma. Several classifications were considered in the course of considering the concept of karma. So one of the classifications was nitya karma, naimittik karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, prayaschitta karma. So nitya karma 1, naimittik karma 2, kamya karma 3, nishiddha karma 4, and prayaschitta karma 5. So we are engaged in some kind of karma in our life. So what is nitya karma? Nitya karma is characterized as committing to such karmas or being in such karmas do not give you virtue but gives you vice by refraining. If you don't carry out nitya karmas, they have such a character. If you don't engage, then you collect sin. But if you engage, you don't collect virtue. That is signature condition of nitya karma. And we had seen what are nitya karmas. Sandhya vandanadi, annikadi are nitya karmas. Snana sandhyadi, bath and sandhya vandanam are nitya karmas. If you do, you don't score merit. But if you don't do, if you neglect, if you escape, then they cost. So they have a cost, but they don't have a reward. Committing them, you don't get rewarded. But not committing them, failing to commit them, will cost you. That's the signature condition of nitya karmas according to Dharma Shastra. So if you don't take bath, you are inviting illness in you. Because it is unhygienic not to take bath. Unhygiene will result into some disease. Uncleanliness will result into some kind of disease. It costs. But the committing to it or accomplishing it doesn't help you score merit. So nitya karmas are there, naimittik karmas are there, which are due to particular incidents. Occasional karmas are there, such as grahana kala, eclipse, parva kala, pitru karma, deva karma, etc. They happen once in a while. Because of certain incidences, they happen. That's why they are called naimittik karma. So that was explained while we were dealing with the karma siddhanta. Then comes kamya karma. Kamya karma means karma backed by desire, karma backed by aspiration, karma backed by wantoning. So there is ichha, vasana, akanksha, kamana, irsha. We expect something out of such karmas. So it done with some passion or done with some expectation is called kamya karma. And nishiddha karmas are the karmas which are taboo, not to do. So that's what Dharma Shastra tells us about the classes of karmas. And additionally, Dharma Shastra also enjoins prayaschitta karma. So there are certain karmas which are atonement karmas, expiation karmas, to expiate oneself from something that is committed unknowingly, or atonement for something that is committed unintentionally. Then there is prayaschitta karma. So those are classes of karma: nitya, naimittika, kamya, nishiddha, prayaschitta. There is another set of classification of karmas in our dharma. They are called shrauta karma, smarta karma. Karmas enjoined by Vedas called shrauta karma. Then karmas enjoined by the tradition, legacy, conventions, culture are smarta karmas. So there are karmas which are because of varna: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So those are smarta karmas. They are also called dharmic karmas or pauranic karmas. So that is another class of karmas which was discussed earlier. I won't repeat. But all these karmas are trividha according to the present sutra that we are dealing with. Trividham, that is Krishna karma, Shukla karma, Shukla Krishna karma. White, black, brown or grey. It is either virtue or vice or combination of the two. Mixed karmas. Even Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter tells us about karmas. It's called Ishta Anishtam Mishra. So, these are the classes of generality like you and me. That there will be three types of karmas. I recall a quotation from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Punyo vai punyena karmana bhavati papaha papena iti. It comes in 3.2.13 in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Another quotation which comes in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is Yathakari yathachari tatha bhavati sadhukari sadhuhu bhavati papakari papo bhavati punya punyena karmana bhavati papaha papena, etc. So these are generally the kinds of karmas we indulge with. And about these karmas there is also a beautiful theorem. Yatha kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute yat karma kurute tad api sampadyate. This is also a beautiful theorem which comes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So these are the governing principles behind three kinds of karmas. While yogis' karmas are Ashukla Krishna, therefore these are not governing principles behind those karmas. Now that is to be understood. Now with reference to what we are discussing, that is it possible to have such karma? Like we saw the example of a baby, infant on the laps of mother. Yogi being realized in his consciousness, yogi is not necessarily a baby. But then, yogi is on particular pedestal of consciousness. And again, I recall that beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita, a set of verses, which comes in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verses 8, 9 and 10. Naiva kinchit karomi ityukto manye tattvavit pashyan shrunvan sprushyan jighran ashnan kachan swapan shwasan pralapan visrujan grunhvan unmishan nimishan api indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyattva karotiya lipyate nasa papena patra padma patra ivam bhasa. A beautiful passage from Bhagavad Gita which tells us about the karma that we are discussing. We thought it is not possible to have such karma, but it is possible. So these are the verses which we considered during our delineation on karma siddhanta. So yogi, he is in such a dharana, naiva kinchit karomi, I do not do any damn thing. Naiva kinchit karomi ityukto manyet tattvavit. So a realized person realizes that I don't do anything. Naiva kinchit karomi, not even bit I do. And then there comes beautiful list of certain karmas. Pashyan, Shrunvan, Spushyan, Jignan, Ashnan, Kachan, Swapan, Shasan, Pralapan, Visujan, Grunvan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. These are various natural karmas. We don't do them intentionally. So the question was, are there unintentional karmas? Now these are all possibly unintentional karmas. Many times they can be unintentional. Then how do they happen? Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. Indriyas work within the indriya vishayas and activities are carried out. And the last verse there says, Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotiya. Offering all karmas to Brahma, the sangha is not seen there. Attachment is not seen there. Cannot be even traced there. And therefore, lipyate nasapapena padma patra ivambasa. So yogi is like lotus leaf, lotus petal, which is, although in water, it is not dampened. It is not wetted. Water doesn't stick to a lotus petal. Similarly, yogi is untouched by phalas, punya phalas and papa phalas. The point is, it is possible to have such kind of karmas which yogi is said to be having the class of it called Ashukla Krishna Karma. So also I recall another verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2 and verse 48, Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. These are the yogis' class of karmas. Yogastha Kuru Karmani, being in the state of yoga, Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. The Sangha is not there, attachment is not there, meaning attachment aversion is not there. Siddha Siddhayoho Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Muchyate. So whether one who is not afflicted by Siddha or Asiddha, by the good or bad consequences, one who is not afflicted by good or bad claimant or inflammant consequences, because it is samatvam of the mind is in equity, equanimity, therefore yogi is not polarized. So although he is doer, he is not doer. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti sa. This is what Bhagavad Gita tells us. So, although yogi does everything, he does nothing. Naiva kinchin karomi is what is declared in the verse. It is because sangam tyaktva condition. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha tyaktva karma phala sangam is how the verse of Bhagavad Gita is to be understood. So it is possible to be free from kleshas, klesha vasanas, and yet be engaged in karmas. And many times we are told about a jivana mukta who is conducting himself in life, but still he is not touched by conditions in life. Now, if you there's again a kind of cavil that if yogi is having no intention, how the yogi will be protected? Who will protect the yogi if the yogi is like a baby, like a child? Because the baby on the laps requires a protector. If there is no one to protect the baby will be unprotected, and you can imagine what can happen to baby when not protected. So if the yogi is like that, how the yogi is protected? Here the parents are there to protect a baby, but who is there to protect a yogi? The yogi who is having no intention at all. Again, Bhagavad Gita has an answer for that. Bhagwan promises, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. I take care of our well-being and wellness of such a person. A yogi who's like childlike, who will take care? He will take care. Who is he? Bhagwan is he. Bhagwan will take care like parents take care of the baby. Bhagwan takes care of such a yogi. Yogi doesn't have to bother about his own care, which we have to. We have to bother about our own care because we don't sufficiently believe in God that He will take care of us. And therefore we take our own care. Yogi will be taken care of by Bhagwan. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Yoga Kshemam. That is the protection. What yogi has, he will be protected. What yogi should be getting will be provided. But whom does the God do that? Whom does the Bhagwan do this favor? Tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So he promises whom? Tesham nityabhyuktanam. Those are always united with Lord, those are always united with Bhagavan, He will take care. While the baby is taken care of by the parents. And here the Bhagwan himself is the parent of a yogi. Yogi doesn't have to bother about his yoga kshemam because he is going to take care of the yoga kshemam. So point is, such conditions are possible. These are not fanciful conditions. And the karma yoga practice is indeed of such kind. Bhagwan himself has said in Bhagavad Gita, Buddhi yukto jahatiya, Buddhi yukto jahatiya ube sukruta dushkrute, tasmat yogaya yujjasva yoga karmasu koshalam. So it doesn't matter whether it is sukrut or dushkrut. Whether it is good deed or bad deed, it doesn't matter. Because yogi is untouched by all that. And that is the karma kaushalyam. That is the skill of karma in karma yoga. The point is, karma yoga can give you such kind of karmas. Apparently they will be having vice or virtue, but not consequentially. It is because of the karma yoga guard, shield. Anyway, incidentally we have considered the karmas in this sutra. The karma prakarana has reappeared in this sutra. And in the language of Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, the verses 11, 12 and 13 tell us about such karmas. Anyway, there are so many classifications of karma, it is just to refresh the memories because most of you will have forgotten about it. There are karmas which gives jati, ayu, bhoga. There are karmas from the point of view of dharma, satvik, rajasic, tamasic. So little brief mention of the types of karmas. So Shukla, Krishna, Mishra karma, our karmas are again three kinds: Shukla, Krishna, Mishra. Karmas giving us jati, ayur, bhoga. karmas which are sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. From sadhana point of view, instrument point of view, the karmas are either kaik, vachik or manasik. Bodily done karmas, mentally done karmas or speechly done karmas. So all this comes in Bhagavad Gita, beautiful karma vignan that comes in Bhagavad Gita. So instrument point of view, the instruments of karmas are either body, mind or speech. And from intentional point of view, the karmas are nitya, naimittik, kamya. Nitya, naimittik, kamya are hetu drushtya from intent point of view. Then Vaignanic point of view, prayaschitta karma. Karma, vikarma, akarma. There is also a topic which Bhagavad Gita deals with. Karma, akarma, vikarma. From Vedanta point of view, prarabdha, sanchita, kriyamana. And then karmas of sthula shariram, called Dehi karma, the karmas of Sukshma Shariram, which are Dhyana, Chintanadi, the thought, reflection, meditation, etc. And the Karana Sharira karma are Samadhi. So various kinds of karmas were considered. Karmas of Sthula Deha, gross body, karmas of Sukshma Deha, subtle body, astral body, karmas of Karana Deha, causal body. So these are all various kinds of karmas. And all these karmas are circumscribed in a very, very, very brief statement of Patanjali in the 7th Sutra, Karma Shukla Krishnam Yogina Trividam Itaresham Yoginas Trividam Itaresham. So, this is what the sutra is telling us. Now, let's take a peep into Vyasa's enunciation and enumeration on the sutra. I just gave you little refresher to your memory by telling you the various kinds of karmas. Now we'll proceed to understand what Vyasa tells us about the fourfold karmas mentioned in the sutra. But we will do that in our next session. Enough for the time being. Namaskar all of you.